So, and first, let me talk about Power BI and Clarity for just a moment. 5 or so years ago, Broadcom did one of the smartest things they've ever done, in my opinion, and that was they exposed the data warehouse to third-party reporting technologies like Power BI, and it has opened up an entire new world of analytics and controls for us. And to make it even better, Rego recently introduced the Rego OData extension, which allows you to not only have direct access to the data warehouse, you can use that to have direct access to some of the transactional tables. So if you're using it for something like timesheet management, seeing what the delinquent timesheets are, you don't have to wait for like every 6 hours or whatever for the load data warehouse job to run to get new data. You can use the Rego OData extension sparingly. You don't want to crush the database that everybody's hitting with transactions, but you can use it for more frequent and more direct updates of the content without having to run the whole data warehouse reload. We do use that on a couple of reports, and it's an extremely handy thing. So thank you, Broadcom, for exposing the data warehouse. Thank you, Rego, for providing the OData extension. It has really made a big difference in the way we can manage resources. So the first thing I want to talk about was my bullet point number 2. How do you find the really bad data? This is a page I've made called Excessive Assignment Inquiry, as you can see. And what this is looking for is any assignment of a single person on a single task on a single project in the upcoming weeks where their assignment for that week is more than 45 hours. Why 45 hours? Well, that's about 111% of normal capacity for one person. So we figured that's a good place to start. We want to see anything that's worse than that. Now, disclaimer, it's only looking at individual assignments on individual tasks. So this, you can have somebody show up with an assignment of 45 hours. All right, let me modify that. If they have an assignment this week of 43 hours, they will not show up on this page. But that doesn't mean they're not overplanned. They might have 5 assignments of 43 hours, none of which is sufficient enough to meet the threshold on this page. The next page I will show you will address that, but this is just looking for the really egregious errors. And right now I have this sorted in descending order, and the number of assigned hours per week, the worst case scenario, Varun Jignesh is assigned on the Hilltop Elevated Line project on this one task, 450 hours in 1 week. That is clearly nuts. There's no way he should have 450 hours in 1 week. Why not? Well, let's talk about why that could happen. Maybe it's because he had a grossly excessive budget in the first place. What I often see is somebody will say, okay, put Varun on the project for 6 months at 100%. Okay, well, when you take out some percentage for vacation and sickness, full-time for 6 months is about 800 hours. So you put him on a 6-month task with a budget of 800 hours, and you figure he's going to charge about 130, 140 hours a month to use up his assignment hours. Well, then he doesn't. He only works 10 or 15 or 20 hours a month on the project, and yes, this does happen. But when he doesn't charge the 130 that was expected this month, he only charges 20. The 110 hours he did not charge winds up getting pushed forward and increasing his per period assignment for the remainder of the task. Next month, same thing. Next month, same thing. So where you had a guy who was expected to charge 800 hours in 6 months, after 5 months he may have charged 100, and you wind up having 700 hours all clumped up in that last month, just because he was grossly overplanned, or maybe he got largely pulled off this project and put on some other project. And so maybe his 20 to 30 hours a month is legitimate because he's spending the other time on other projects. Whatever the underlying reason, the fact is you have some ridiculous assignments here that are totally blowing up your resource profile, because there's no way Varen is going to work 450 hours this week. So you're clearly overstating your demand for this poor guy by at least 400, 410 hours that week. So that needs to be fixed.